The contract was for my protection, not for my heart. And it definitely never said anything about him fixing my broken heating system at 2 in the morning. But there he was. Liam Thorne standing on a stepladder in my tiny pantry, his broad shoulders straining the seams of his simple black t-shirt. The CEO of a multi-billion-dollar security empire, a man who commanded boardrooms and terrified competitors, was now wrestling with a faulty thermostat valve. "For me, this is beneath you," I said, pulling my worn robe tighter around myself. He didn't even look down from his work. "Nothing that keeps you safe and comfortable is beneath me, Ms. Reed." And that was the problem, wasn't it? For 3 long months, ever since a series of business setbacks escalated into credible threats from a corporate rival, Liam Thorne had become my shadow. He was impeccable, completely professional, and so utterly infuriating. He tasted my food before I was allowed to eat it. He scanned every single room before I could enter. And his constant, gorgeous presence was a living, breathing reminder that my life was in very real danger. The valve finally gave way with a satisfying hiss, and warm air began to circulate through the vents. He climbed down from the ladder, wiping his grease-stained hands on a rag. In the dim kitchen light, he looked less like a titan of industry and more like a man, a very tired man. "You should be sleeping," he said, his voice a low rumble that vibrated through the floor. I couldn't help but gesture to the couch he claimed as his own, the single blanket always folded with military precision by morning. "I could say the same to you," I countered. "You can't protect me if you're exhausted." A ghost of a smile touched his lips, a rare and precious thing. "I'll sleep when you're safe." The words hung between us, heavy with unspoken meaning. I knew deep down that this wasn't just a job for him. I felt it in the way his hand would linger for just a half-second too long on the small of my back when guiding me through a doorway. I felt it in the way his calm, steady voice was the only thing that could quiet the frantic drum of my heart after another threatening letter arrived. This was something more. The breaking point, the moment everything changed, came a week later. We were at a charity gala, my first big public appearance since he'd taken over my security. I was playing my part, smiling, making small talk, networking. But then I saw him across the grand ballroom. He wasn't scanning the crowd for threats like he usually did. He was looking straight at me. And the expression on his face. It wasn't professional assessment. It was raw, completely unguarded, and filled with a longing so deep it literally stole the breath from my lungs. Later that night, back in the tense silence of my apartment, the air was thick. He did his final sweep of the rooms, but his movements were stiff, unnatural. I couldn't take it anymore. I leaned against the kitchen island, my voice barely a whisper. "Who was he?" He paused. "Who?" "The man you were talking to earlier. The one who made your jaw tighten like that." He stilled completely, his back to me. "Jonathan Clark, my former head of innovation. He left to join Sterling Solutions, my rival's company, the company that was threatening me. What did he say to you?" I pressed. Liam finally turned to face me. The professional mask was back in place, but I could see the cracks forming around the edges. "It doesn't matter. It matters to me." The words burst out of me, fueled by months of pent-up frustration and a feeling I was too terrified to name. "He said something that upset you. After everything you have done for me, I think I have a right to know if someone is threatening you." "He wasn't threatening me, Alara." His voice was dangerously soft, dropping an octave. He was making an observation. "About you." My heart started hammering against my ribs. "About me?" He took a step closer, then another, until he was standing directly in front of me, crowding my space. The air crackled with a new kind of tension. He said you looked beautiful tonight, and that it was a shame you were wasting your time with hired help. I just stared at him, my mind racing. "And what did you say?" His gaze dropped to my lips. I told him that my contract with you was the most valuable agreement I've ever signed. He looked back up, his eyes boring into mine. "But I lied." My breath hitched. "Lied how?" "The contract is worthless," he whispered. His hand rose and he gently tucked a stray strand of hair behind my ear. His touch was electric, sending a shiver down my entire body. "I'm not here because of a piece of paper, Alara. I'm here because the thought of anything happening to you. It makes it hard for me to breathe." The confession hung in the air, so fragile and yet so powerful. "All this time," I breathed, my own voice shaking. "I thought it was just a job." "Alara," he said, and my name sounded like a prayer on his lips. I took this assignment because I've been in love with you since the moment I saw you give a speech at a tech conference 2 years ago. The security firm, The Wealth. I built it all hoping that one day I'd be someone you could finally see. Someone worthy of standing by your side. When the threat started, it was my only way in. My only chance to be close to you. Tears welled in my eyes, blurring his face. The most powerful, intimidating man I knew brought to his knees not by a corporate enemy, but by his own heart. So the protection, the late nights, the broken thermostat. All of it, he confessed, his forehead now resting gently against mine. It was all for me, to be near you. To earn just a single one of your smiles. I reached up and cupped his face, feeling the rigid tension in his jaw beneath my palms. The contract is void, Mr. Thorne. His eyes widened in a flash of panic, but before he could speak, I silenced him with a kiss. It was soft at first, a promise. When I pulled away, I smiled, truly smiled. You're not my bodyguard anymore. A true, breathtaking smile finally broke across his face, transforming him. Then what am I? You're the man who fixed my heater, I whispered, leaning in to kiss him again, deeper this time. And the man I'm desperately in love with. In that moment, the gilded cage of my protection vanished, and in its place, I found the boundless freedom of his arms. Thanks for listening to our story today. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.